Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh, yeah. Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on The Casey Malone Show.
Today we rock the North Coast at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. I also prepare my Yiddo meatloaf. It is fabulous. But first, let's check in with Jimmy Sutman. I'm here with Jimmy Sutman, the director of Purple Cat, Isle, all the umbrella of all your organizations.
Golden String too.
Golden String Radio. As you can see, they're on the air right now, broadcasting live. We're at the Pearl Street Mission. And this has been an exciting year. You've really expanded a lot of your services.
Yeah, we've been busy. You know, on the Purple Cat front, we've been expanding the farm out in Coatesville. We now have pigs. We're expanding with our farm animals, so our adults with disabilities can work with those with those animals and get paid. Different structures out there, our wood shop. We've been doing a lot more projects. Actually, we've been doing a lot more out that way in Western Pennsylvania. You know, we are picking up folks in Mercer and Lawrence County.
Was that an underserved market prior?
Yes. I don't think that there's anything quite like the Purple Cat in Western Pennsylvania. And not just with the farm, but with vocational opportunities. Gallagher's Lunch Bucket, which is a Theo-Kill Renaissance, that's doing very well. Our program here at Pearl Street on the east side, you know, we still have our training kitchen, and of course Golden String Radio, which is my pride and joy. And yeah, things have been rolling.
Well, I'll tell you, that Golden String Radio, I mean, we were here a while back, and that is nicer, really, than most radio stations that I've worked for. I mean, you really have state-of-the-art equipment.
Well, thanks.
You know, when I started, it was knobs, and we were reel-to-reel, and, you know, going back to the old days. But I know that's really a state-of-the-art facility you have here.
It's interesting because it's a good mix of the past and the present, because we still do records, you know, vinyl, we have cassettes, whatever people donate to us, we either put into the system, or we just do it old school, flipping in the cassettes and playing them over the air. Miracles of the internet, you know, technology.
Well, you had emailed me this video of this performer that you're bringing in for a fundraiser.
Yeah, we're very excited from a fundraising standpoint for Golden String and Golden String Radio. We're bringing in Galen Lee. Who is a national recording artist with multiple disabilities. She's wheelchair bound, but she's an expert violinist and fiddle player, and she recently won the National Public Radio's Tiny Desk contest. So we're excited. This is a big deal. We're bringing her in. She's doing a tour in between her Pittsburgh and Akron shows. She's going to stop off in Youngstown, and we're going to host her at the Purple Cat Productions, the former Oakland Theater in downtown Youngstown. It only seats, you know, about 130 folks, so tickets are limited. But this is a big deal for us. You know, we're hoping this will start like a pattern of bringing in some artists with disabilities.
I think that was a huge get. I mean, she is a really talented
And I know
artist.
you'd like it. I was listening on Tuesday. She plays a lot of Irish folk music, which I think will go nicely with the parade a little bit later.
Oh, that's coming up. But and we're also going to have some performances at the show with some of the clients.
Yeah, we're kind of making it an educational night. I mean, Galen will interview her. Of course, Casey, I'm hoping you'll do that for us. But, you know, she's going to perform at the end of the show, but we're going to have some of our own individuals with disabilities performing, you know, some singing, some acting, some theater we're going to be doing. So it's going to be kind of like a variety show. And it's going to be hosted by Scotty Mincher, one of our folks with disabilities and one of our great DJs here. I don't know, it's going to be interesting. We haven't done anything like this before. We've already started practicing. We're getting the theater all spruced up for it. It's a big deal for us.
It is a big deal. And what are the funds earmarked for? What do you...
100% of the funds will go towards Golden String Radio and keeping the music going, and really providing staff for the DJs, transportation for the DJs, the equipment and all of that. It's not really as expensive as you would think. It's more, we need those people to be here to support our people, and that's where the costs go.
So January 17th is the show. It's also my father's birthday.
Oh my gosh, what a day. What a day.
It's going to be a huge day, and I'm really looking forward to that show. And make sure you get your tickets, and the information is right there on the screen.
Take off with the Casey Malone Show. Woohoo!
Well, this is for you, Phil. Happy anniversary!
Cheers.
4 years at the tree. So what have we learned?
It's been a great journey. What we have learned is that people want to come to celebrate here at Magic Tree. We have these beautiful signs for every occasion, and for my wife and I over the last 4 years, to be able to do what we've done for the community with fundraisers has been very dear to our heart.
And what do you see coming up in the future?
Well, we have a huge building. We have incredibly good craft beer, incredibly good food we make from scratch, and our wine on tap. We have something for everybody here at Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. I want everyone to come down and let us create a memory for them.
That's right, and I love that they have the trays to go. Party, pick it up, take it to the office, take it at home, and you can party at the tree no matter where you are. Congratulations. Good
Cheers.
job.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
Hurry into a Spitzer location near you to enjoy the lowest prices of the year on some of our best-selling 2016 models. You can save thousands on your new vehicle with the Spitzer Model Year-End Sales Event. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
Four for 5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austin Town.
All day, you pursue your dreams. And all day, I pursue mine. Knowing we are always there for each other. You are my best friend, my true love. Together, we shine twice as bright. The Ever Us Two-Stone Collection, Forever Mark. A diamond is forever. Available at Kamara Jewelers.
It's Golden String Radio's variety show, January 17th at the Morley Theater. Enjoy various acts from Purple Cat Productions with special guest Galen Lee, violinist and songwriter. Order tickets at goldenstringradio.org. One of my favorite festival foods is the gyro. Yes, for years I mispronounced it. It is actually the gyro. But how do you reproduce that at home? Well, I have got a recipe that you are going to love. It is my gyro meatloaf. It's made with ground lamb and ground beef, Middle Eastern spices. It is a large quantity, so it will serve many people. And you are going to be thrilled with the taste and the outcome. So let's get started with my gyro meatloaf. For this recipe, you'll need 1 pound of ground chuck, 2 pounds of ground lamb, 2 shallots finely chopped, 1/2 cup medium bulgur wheat softened, 2 tablespoons za'atar, 1 tablespoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon ground pepper, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 2 tablespoons dry parsley, 3 eggs, and olive oil. This meatloaf assembles pretty quickly. I've preheated the oven to 375, and I've softened the bulgur wheat. The bulgur wheat is what is used in tabbouleh, a very popular Middle Eastern dish, and I usually get my Middle Eastern spices at CaseySecondJanuary. They have a very wide selection. This is a medium bulgur, and it's quite coarse right now, but all you have to do is add it to warm tap water and you'll see that it expands. It only takes a few minutes. And before we begin, we'll just mix together all of these ingredients. The chopped shallots, and then we'll also add the za'atar. Now I make my own za'atar, which is a combination of sesame seeds and sumac, which is a lemony, deep purple spice, and thyme. I like the fresh thyme rather than the dried thyme, but you can usually buy the za'atar already assembled also at CaseySecondJanuary. So we'll add this, it's 2 heaping tablespoons to the shallots. We'll add the salt. Try to use kosher because it does blend better. The ground pepper, the garlic powder, and the dried parsley. And now all we'll do is just mix this together. All right, so now things are going to get a bit messy. I better remove my wedding band. All right, so we'll add the mixture with the shallots and all the herbs and spices. We will add our eggs, 3 eggs, and now we will add the bulgur wheat. And this is very easily drained. All you do is give it a good hard squeeze with your hand to extract the water, and then you just add that to the bowl, because you really want to make sure you squeeze out all the moisture. And now we'll give this a really good mix, and the best way to do it is just get in there with your hands and thoroughly blend this together. I prepared the loaf pan by spreading some oil all around the surfaces, and now we are going to pack in our gyro meatloaf. Look at this, it looks beautiful. It really is going to fill up this pan, and you want to make sure you pack it in. So now what I'm going to do is just make a little well right down the middle. It's all packed in, and I'll take the olive oil and just pour it right down the middle, and then rub it all over the top to prepare it before we put it in the oven. Our oven is preheated to 375, and we'll put that in for almost an hour, about 60 minutes. And what would an authentic gyro be without tzatziki sauce? So while the meatloaf's baking, let's put this together. For the tzatziki sauce, you'll need 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt, juice from 1 lemon, 3 cloves of garlic chopped, 1 English cucumber, seeds removed, 1 tablespoon of fresh mint and or dill chopped, and kosher salt and fresh ground pepper to taste. Nobody likes soupy tzatziki. So after I peel and deseed the cucumbers, I wrap them up in paper towels to absorb the moisture. And see, it's only been about 5 or 10 minutes, and look at the moisture that has already been absorbed. So now they're much drier, and it'll make for a chunkier sauce. So we'll remove that, and I'll just chop these up lightly. Now we'll add the chopped garlic, the lemon juice, and a couple tablespoons of fresh chopped dill. You can also use mint. I really like both of them. Or you can add both dill and mint to this sauce. But I thought the dill looked really nice today at the store, so I picked that up. Oh, I just love the smell of dill. And now a couple grinds of fresh ground pepper. We'll add salt later because we don't want to draw any more moisture out of the cucumbers. Now we'll just put this on and give it a good chop. Now how easy was that? We'll just add this to the Greek yogurt. As you can see, this is one beautiful meatloaf, and it tastes just like a Yiddo. And you can serve it formal at the table by the slice, or you can load up a pita like I am about to do and just put the trimmings on it. Tomatoes, I'm gonna put some cucumber, and of course top it with a little of my homemade tzatziki sauce. And right here at home, I am going to enjoy a Yiddo. And it isn't even festival season yet. Oh, I cannot wait to bite into this. This is gonna be a little messy. So let's see how it tastes. It is so good. You are gonna love this. I'm telling you, this makes enough for 6, 8, 10 people. You can slice it as thin as you want or as thick as you want. And I think a Yiddo calls for a nice IPA to wash down all those wonderful flavors. Delicious. Just go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, for the tzatziki and for the Yiddo meatloaf recipe. You are going to thank me later. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Cthulhu Prime Meats, a third-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CthulhuPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
Cerny means trucks. For over 50 years, the Cerny family has been the area's leader for medium and heavy-duty international trucks. New or pre-owned, Cerny means trucks. Easy to find. Cerny Motors is conveniently located at Route 46 and 80. At Cerny Motors, no job is too big or too small. Cerny Motors service will keep you on the road. For service, parts, sales, lease, or rental, Cerny means trucks.
Hurry into a Spitzer location near you to enjoy the lowest prices of the year on some of our best-selling 2016 models. You can save thousands on your new vehicle with the Spitzer Model Year-End Sales Event. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. It has been 20 years since the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opened on Cleveland's North Coast Harbor. The exhibits and archives feature every aspect of rock and roll, roots and early influences through today's contemporary artists. No matter your taste, there's video footage, memorabilia, interactive exhibits, the library, and archives. This museum is fascinating for all ages. Todd Messick is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Rock Hall. 20 years, big celebration coming up. And you marked it in mid-March. You had your, 10 millionth visitor?
We did, and it just happened serendipitously. We had our 10 millionth visitor just come through a few weeks ago, and you couldn't script it any better. This guy just got off the bus, a red-eye bus from New York City. He's a musician, He came to Cleveland to look at schools for grad school. As unsuspecting as any of us, he sees cameras lined up, hoping that he's going to get to see a celebrity coming through. And really, he's emblematic of the 10 million people that came through our doors in the last 20 years to really come to this this experience that is unique to any other thing in the world. This is the only place in the world that really celebrates the art form the way we do, and it tells a story of how this music has really impacted our lives. And so we really wanted to make a big deal about that. It just so happens that happens at our 20th anniversary as the inductions are happening. It's just really been a great time for us.
You see every age group represented. You see little kids, you see preteens, teenagers, seniors. How do you appeal to all those demographics?
Yeah, it's interesting because you look at, okay, rock and roll, that's, clearly the baby boomers were a big part of that. And how does the next generation and the generation and the generation after that really embrace that? A really interesting thing about technology and media is it used to be that, that you listen to one thing. You listen to those 4 or 5 radio stations that you listen to, and now music is being introduced to kids through Spotify and YouTube and social media and video games and iTunes and all these different places, and they're so much more accessible to them that we have kids come through that are 14 years old and they have a Beatles shirt or a Who shirt or a Jimi Hendrix because they're learning it. So this music, we have artists that haven't performed in a number of years that are still being embraced by the younger generation. But we also try to make connections. So when you come through our exhibits, you'll see artists like the Black Keys and Bruno Mars and Beyonce, because there's a couple points there. One is that we define it really broadly. We look at everything that came into rock and roll, which is R&B and jazz and blues and folk and country and all those things that kind of melded together to make rock and roll, but also what emanates from it, whether it's hip hop or EDM or some other indie music that is happening today. So then the second thing I want to say is that we want to try to make connections. So if you really like Jimi Hendrix, then there's a way that he connects to John Mayer, and to see how different artists have influenced each other, how there's connections there, how people carry on the tradition. So there's something for each generation, and there's also a way for those generations to connect.
Do you think, of course, that Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania are the most close region to the Rock Hall, almost takes it for granted? Because the majority of your visitors are out of state, international? Yeah,
about 90% of the people come from out of town. We call it the Statue of Liberty syndrome. People don't go to Statue of Liberty until they're about to leave New York.
Meredith Rutledge Borger is a curator here at the Rock Hall, and we are in front of a collection that you acquired from Beyonce.
Yes, we're so excited.
Does that process work?
Well, we approached Beyonce's people to see if we could get her Super Bowl outfit after her Super Bowl performance, and they said absolutely yes, and we'd like to give you a few more things as well. And we said absolutely yes, thank you.
Now, the Rock Hall, in your permanent collection, do you have a lot of different items and artifacts?
We do, but because we're a relatively young institution, the museum only opened in 1995. This will be our 20th anniversary, and we're real excited about that. But because we're relatively young, we have a sort of challenge in terms of building our collection. About 60% of our collection is on loan, and we are working really hard to get that ratio up so that we actually own items and don't have to worry about returning them.
So now you're getting ready. Your next exhibit will be the inductees from this year.
Yes.
What can we look forward to?
Well, we've already gotten some great items. We've got Joan Jett's first automobile, which is totally bad. It's a black Jaguar XKE, which is the fastest land machine that was made at the time. And she drove it off the lot when she only had a learner's permit.
Oh my God. Lucky that it's still in one piece.
Yeah, really. We've got a great collection of items from all of the inductees. Bill Withers, we got his main guitar that he played for most of his career and wrote many of his songs on. For Lou Reed, we've got clothing, instruments. Stevie Ray Vaughan, we have one of his signature hats and one of his main instruments, beautiful guitar. We're getting this great item from Ringo, who is finally being inducted as a solo artist. We have a drum kit that was one of his main kits from the Beatles, and it's never been displayed before. That's really exciting for me.
But what we do see is, and we encourage this, we see the local people come when they bring their friends in from out of town. When businesses and conventions, and that's a growing market for Cleveland. Those people come from out of town, and the local people it's really important for them to serve as our ambassadors. So we want to encourage them to come down. There's a discount for local people, and it's a pretty wide footprint in terms of the geography we offer. We want those people to be members and come through, not just because we want them to attend the museum, but because we want them to feel good about it, be proud of their community, and be ambassadors to bring all those other people in from out of town.
That's true, and that is, what are we going to do in Cleveland? Well, what about the Rock Hall? Right. It's a big deal. We fought so hard to get it here.
I kid you not. I've traveled around the world, and in a recent trip, I was in Dubai, and I'm at the restaurant, and the waiter's just making small talk. Where are you from? Cleveland, in Dubai. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Worldwide, we're known for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and really being the birthplace of rock and roll.
My show is always on. Watch previous segments at CaseyMaloneShow.com. Sponsored by the Ingram Law Office. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.